Hey viewers, my name is Sean Charat and welcome to Fridays at the Movies. Today's topics are the brand new Joker trailer came out this week, so just diving into what my thoughts are about that trailer. Topic number two, Terminator Dark Fate. Some pictures came out, so just kind of diving into also what I thought about those pictures. I just said diving in twice, so forgive me for that. Topic number three is just kind of fun. It's more of a chillax topic. Just going over some theories I have about Avengers Endgame. Again, those are my personal theories, so I'm not gonna like base them on too many things, so it's not like a spoiler type of thing. But anyway, that's for later on the show. Let me jump right into the first topic, which is this brand new Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie. There's a trailer coming that came out this week for that movie. And I gotta say, I love this trailer. It's one of the things that. So I'm not. So from what I'm hearing, is this is apparently just its own standalone movie. It has nothing to do with the DCEU, supposedly. Which I kind of am gonna believe that because I'm going off of the Sony's Venom film, where it's its own separate thing. But apparently, this is just its own one-off movie. There's not going to be a sequel to this movie, according to reports and Todd Phillips, who's the director. I don't know if I buy that completely. I feel like they're just waiting to see how this film does. Regardless, though, I am really into what the tone is of this trailer. It has a very kind of it feels very much like a Martin Scorsese film. It was reminding me of like Taxi Driver, or was it King of Comedy? Also, a lot of his early works too. That it had that kind of like, even though it's Gotham, like that New York esque feel. And Joaquin Phoenix, ironically, he's in the movie too. Robert De Niro. He has that kind of Robert De Niro esque, like type of mannerisms inside this trailer. And I love it. I think that he's the perfect actor to play the Joker in like modern day, like compared to like all the actors that could play him in modern day. I think that he obviously looks like he's gonna nail the role. And one thing that stood out to me in this trailer though is that yeah, I was looking at the details, like the small little details in this trailer, like just from a comic book fan's perspective. Of course, you have Arkham Asylum, he's going there. The thing is, the Joker doesn't technically have an origin. Like, yeah, you can look at the Killing Joke and say, okay, here's some origins, but again, it's all jumbled up. But there's things with his mom inside this trailer, so I'm assuming that she's probably, not mentally well, because like that's what this trailer sort of conveys, and that she might be a patient at Arkham. After some of the scenes that are inside the trailer where they're dancing and he's giving her a bath. But also, what's interesting about the trailer is that, yeah, the small little details. Thomas Wayne, who's Bruce Wayne's father, he plays, I'm assuming, like a pretty big like antagonist, not an antagonist role, but he's an antagonist, I guess, or some sort of like a wall that Joaquin's Phoenix's Joker has to get through. So I'm curious to see what his role is in this film. And of course, you see Bruce Wayne, a young Bruce Wayne. He's there at Wayne Manor, and Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. He's like basically clowning around. No pun intended, actually pun intended. And then he like goes and he puts the smile like with his fingers on Bruce Wayne's face. So yeah, like there's just so many great things inside the trailer that I'm excited for. Ironically, so this is technically not a topic this week, but it is still irrelevant to what this film, this trailer. There was the Joker from the Gotham series, like a picture came out, a little small teaser as well of how he's gonna look. So just kind of comparing the two too. I think that you're getting two very different versions of the Joker, and I think it's really awesome. It's almost like similar to what happened last year with Spider-Man, where you get so much content from this one character that it feels like the perfect like fan. It feels perfect to give back to the fans that way. So I love the idea of this, and I think that this movie could be something really special. Yeah, I really do. It comes out October 3rd, I believe. October 4th. Sorry, October 4th. So it's off by like one day. But yeah, so I think that based off the trailer, of course, the Smile song that comes on in it, I'm a big Charlie Chaplin fan, so just hearing that song, and it perfectly fits with the Joker. And also too, the one thing with this Joker, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, that I definitely got off of this trailer is that he's a combination almost of all the Jokers, where he has like kind of this Jack Nicholson as like Caesar Romero type of look to him, and he actually also Heath Ledger with his hair. and he also like has that perfect like mixture of the personalities with them. Jared Leto too. Okay, no, but I mean, like, I guess he has some elements of that character too. I don't know, but like every Joker, of course, like they have they take from other Jokers and they can create their own version of it. So I thought it's cool. One thing that I wasn't that big on at first, not from this trailer, but from the original like set photos and also the small little like announcement teaser that they had released, like the makeup test that they did like probably a few months ago. Because I wasn't that big actually on the makeup of this Joker at first. But then now I see it in the context of this trailer and I see like how and I see his performance more. It actually like it's growing on me. I thought he looked too much like a clown, if that makes too much sense. If that makes no sense. Like if that makes sense where I thought he looked too much like a clown, like just an average clown, where I always pictured the Joker to be more distinct. That's one thing I would kind of give to the Gotham Joker. The one that's coming out from the TV series is that he is definitely a distinct version of the Joker. So I think that that's something that I always look towards whenever I see like the Joker is so like he's a clown, but he's next level psychopathic crazy clown as far as the look goes. Like here's like a crazy scary clown and the Joker's above that. So that was one thing that I kind of had a problem with at first with the Joaquin Phoenix because of Joker's makeup. But again, like I said, it grew on me. So I'm excited for this film. Interesting enough too, it's interesting to see Todd Phillips tackle this type of subject matter. I mean I love the first Hangover movies. The other two I wasn't that big of a fan of. I actually really like War Dogs. The movie came out like I kind of went under the radar too, but it was actually a really fun movie to watch. It was with Miles Teller and Jonah Hill. Todd Phillips directed that movie too. I thought that movie was really fun and awesome. So I've been excited to see what his version of the Joker will be. Again, going back a little bit to the Martin Scorsese thing before I jump out to the next topic. Again, Martin Scorsese at one point was attached to this project, I believe, and they're looking at Leonardo DiCaprio originally to play this role. And it's interesting to see though, like, even though he's no longer attached to it, like he dropped out being a producer, but you can still see his like handprints on it. And when I first heard that Martin Scorsese was involved with the Joker film, like a solo Joker film, I was like, huh, that's interesting. Of a project out of all the projects for somebody of his caliber of directing too, like you could basically do anything that you want, you know. So it's interesting that this was a property that he chose, and I was like, what is like? There has to be something there, something really unique for Martin Scorsese out of all people to be like, I want to tackle this specific solo super based off of a comic book villain. Granted, probably arguably the greatest comic book villain of all time. And there has to be something there. And I definitely got that off of this trailer. So I'm excited. I think that this could be something really special. Anyway, let me jump on to topic number 2, Terminator Dark Fate. So some posters came out this week for the film. Not posters, sorry, some still images. And I gotta say, I am kind of mixed on it. Okay, actually, here's the thing. Hey, let me talk about this movie for a little bit, actually. I think the posters and so far the marketing looks too similar to Terminator Genesis. It has that kind of washed out sci-fi channel-esque look to it. These posters again, these posters are, I keep saying posters, these stills look again similar to the Terminator Genesis, so it hasn't really enticed me yet. Granted, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he looks cool, you know, he looks still similar, even though he's like older, he does look still similar to how his older T-1000 looked in Terminator Genesis. So nothing, like, if you showed me a still image of this movie so far, like all the still images, and you showed me Terminator Genesis, I would have thought that as part of that movie as well, except for, of course, Linda Hamilton. She's in this movie. And there's, again, one image of her. She looks badass as usual, but nothing like entices me about this movie so far. But here's the interesting thing. So I was getting ready to like do just brushing over some of the topics for this week's Fridays at the Movies. You know, I was just like going over, I was like, okay, Terminator Dark Fate, I'll talk a little bit about the still images. I was like, there's not though much I could talk about. But then I kind of went on this weird wormhole of talking about of Terminator Dark Fate online. And I found out a few things about this movie that really caught my interest. So Terminator Dark Fate, for those of you who don't know, they are going to be using CGI to de-age these characters into what they look like. So this movie, for those of you who don't know, is completely taking away everything that has happened Terminator 3, Salvation, and Genesis. Like, it's a retcon. It's a direct sequel to Terminator Judgment Day. So they're going to be de-aging the characters into what they looked like in Terminator Judgment Day, which is, I thought, was pretty actually cool. And that was one thing they haven't like really, I don't think they've like came out and said that like that publicly yet. I mean, obviously they said it, but I mean, it hasn't been that publicly known. I think that's really cool. And if you go and do some research on the film, you'll find that like the actor who's playing John Cotter, there's scenes where they're gonna de-age him to look like Edward Furlong. And then same thing with Linda Hamilton, like they're gonna de-age her to look like how she did in, I believe, 1990s when Terminator 2 came out. And then probably, some years after that, depending on how the storyline goes with this film. So I think that's freaking cool. And I'm excited to see that. And that's one thing that actually like kind of makes me raise an eyebrow and say, I want to see this movie now just because of that. And then another thing with this movie too, I am starting to get more of a sense of James Cameron's involvement with this movie, which is definitely more than what he like more so than the previous Terminator films, besides obviously the two that he made, that he personally had directed and written. So he's definitely more involved with this movie. And I think that's cool. I've learned my lesson after Alita Battle Angel to not really, to not doubt James Cameron, because I actually really liked Alita Battle Angel. And that movie ended up doing a lot better than I think it probably should have, because considering like the kind of movie it is and everything, you consider movies that like are similar that haven't done that well. So it's amazing that you can't dislike James Cameron. Like somehow he'll find a way to do it. So that's one big thing about this movie. Tim Miller's directing, so I'm excited to see his post Deadpool directorial, I guess efforts, or like his directorial film, where to see what he does after Deadpool. Did I say Deadpool? After Deadpool, not Deadpool 2. Sorry. But yeah, so I'm excited. Another thing that stood out to me with these posters is Mackenzie Davis. If those of you don't know her, she's from Black Mirror. San Juan Palisto. I feel so bad. People are gonna hate the fact I don't know that. And then Blade Runner 2049. She was in that movie. She did this movie. I'm assuming she's playing, like, from what I read, a warrior or some sort of like futuristic warrior or something like that. And so there's still images of her. Couldn't really recognize that was her, actually, to be honest. So I give props for that. She's very, I guess, into her character. The makeup is like very into, the world. So I think that's cool. And I'm excited to see like where that goes. So ironically, these still images, they don't excite me for the movie, but the information I received about this movie based off of just looking up these images for this very topic on the show got me more interested and more enticed to go see this movie, because this movie I think also comes out in October as well, like a few weeks after the Joker film. So that's gonna be one big month right there. Starting off the month with the Joker film and ending the month with this new Terminator Dark Fate film. Oh yeah, that's one thing I can't believe I was about to forget this. Gotta talk about the title though. So Terminator Dark Fate. I don't. It might grow on me. Right now, it hasn't grown on me. I don't. I don't want to be the guy that's like, I dislike this. I dislike this. I don't like this. But it's just something about it just hasn't clicked on me. I think because I'm thinking of Dark Phoenix. To be completely honest, it's because I'm thinking of Dark Phoenix right now, and it's just reminding me of that. And that movie right now has not like got me invested to see that movie yet. So I kind of just like drawing parallels mentally about it. But also, I'm not sure, too, if it's just not that interesting of a title. Dark Fate. Like, okay, it's the fate. It's, yeah, I guess maybe it's about fate. Like, no matter what they do. Because if you watch the original Terminator 2 Judgment Day, they had the, original, there's only one. But if you watch Terminator 2 Judgment Day, they had a deleted scene, that was basically Linda Hamilton, Sarah Connor, she's there, like, the Washington Monument, and John Connor has become senator, and she's narrating that, like, people should be glad that the future, the one where the machines took over, didn't happen. So I don't know. That's technically not canon anymore, because that was in the movie. That was cut from the movie. But that was obviously where they're going with that movie when they're writing, or when James Cameron was writing it. So I'm interested to see if like that's kind of plays into this idea where like there was a certain route where they were gonna go, which was these machines will not attack. The future will be brighter, but we got to be wary of that. We could go into that alternate future where these Terminators did attack and with this whole war Skynet took over. So I'm interested to see if like no matter what, like your fate always goes that way. If maybe that's a theme inside this, and that could mean more to the title of this film. But who knows? We'll see. But anyway, so topic number three, just jumping out to topic number three. This topic is more of a chill last type of topic. Like it's just me kind of, I guess, guessing. So before I jump out to this topic, I want to say this. I saw the new Avengers Endgame trailer. I actually got my tickets this week when it came out a few days ago. So I'm excited. Trailer looks cool. They're all new shots pretty much in the trailer. So I'm not going to talk too much about the trailer besides, obviously like there's some cool elements. I don't want to spoil the trailer because I know I kind of just saw the trailer out of impulse and I regret it because I wish that I would have saw certain moments in the trailer on screen for the first time. So, but I saw it anyway, and I'll say that the trailer, it's cool. Again, I have no idea what the plot is exactly besides them obviously going to go and stop Thanos from or going to avenge literally like their fallen comrades in the world. So I mean, the plot is still like very it's still very like closed off from people. So I'm excited to see obviously what the plot is. Anyway, but what this topic is with this Avengers Endgame theorizing, it's more of a chillax topic. It's just me theorizing about what I think could happen in this movie. Again, I have nothing, I have not looked at any spoilers. The only things I've seen are these trailers and the posters. Like that's about it. And then I probably saw one or two, a few comments from the cast themselves. So I think so again, if I spoil anything, it's purely it's unintentional and I have no idea if I will do it. So we can always go back to this video and say, oh, hey, I was right, but it was just a pure guess. So that said, I think Captain America and Iron Man aren't making it out of this movie. I think that's pretty much a done deal. I think they aren't making it out of this movie. I think Hawkeye might not make it out of this movie either. I'm kind of it depends. I think Black Widow is gonna make it out of this movie. I think Thor will make it out of this film, and then of course everybody else that got dusted will make it out of this movie, and then yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with so far who I think will survive, who I think won't survive. I think that what will end up happening is there will be a scene towards the end of this film. It will be the big climactic thing, similar to what the Battle of Wakanda was in the last film / the Battle of Titan. And what this battle is going to be, it's going to be similar to what Doctor Strange did to Dormammu inside the Doctor Strange film. For those of you who haven't seen that movie, basically what Doctor Strange did is he created a loop. So that's how he basically got Dormammu to what's the word? To not attack Earth or not destroy Earth, to spare Earth. So I think that something similar is going to happen in this movie. I think they're going to go fight Thanos and he's going to win. He's going to just whip their butts and they're going to keep going. They're going to keep trying different things. There's again, Doctor Strange said there's millions of ways that this could go and we only won one. So I think that that's going to be something that plays a big role in this film. So, that said, they're going to do that, and eventually they're going to have to figure out that we can't beat Thanos by all just jumping on him. We can only beat him by trapping him in this loop. And us, only a select, and the rest of us getting away through this loop, through some sort of quantum realm theme. So hear me out, because I feel like this could get confusing. So, okay, they're fighting Thanos, right? And they get stuck in this loop. They create this loop. And Thanos creates this loop. And they're constantly fighting him. And Doctor Strange or Ant-Man or somebody opens up some sort of portal to the quantum realm, which could take them back to their original universes. Granted, the only thing is Thanos could just go chase them back unless they trap him back within that loop. So they're going to need some characters to sacrifice themselves to basically distract Thanos so the rest of them can get away. The characters that would distract themselves or that would go distract Thanos would probably be Captain America and Iron Man. That's just my theory. So that's so similar to what Bucky and Captain America did to Iron Man in Civil War, basically going to have they're going to do something similar to Thanos where they're just both jumping him and Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, all of them, like, they're getting away. They're creating this loot, like this sort of wormhole that they can get back to New Earth or back to their original Earth. And, they're just, that's how they're all getting away. And what ends up happening is that in the midst of all this, Captain America, Iron Man, they're that scene where like Captain America's super bloody or he's like super like a mess inside a trailer. That's probably where this scene is from. Thanos is about to basically kill him. Like he's on his knees, and he gets up and he says, "I could do this all day." He says his classic line, and then Thanos like just again keeps fighting. Iron Man helps out, and he ends up just killing both of them. But at that point, the rest of the Avengers have already escaped through this portal, and Thanos is just trapped in this endless loop of like this world or something. This like he's just trapped there. That's just some crazy theory I have, or something similar to that. Um, Another thing too, I heard a theory also that I think could be interesting is that now that they have the 20th Century Fox characters, see, this is what Marvel does really great, is that they know their comics so well that when they don't have the rights to characters yet, they're able to still tell their comics orderly enough to where they could bring in some characters. They did it with Spider-Man, where they didn't have the rights to Spider-Man, but they they kind of set up the world. They set up New York. They set up all this stuff to sort of easily put Spider-Man into this world. I think that's what they kind of did with some of these 20th Century Fox characters that now they have because they own 20th Century Fox. Is that, well, Disney owns them, or Disney owns 20th Century Fox, but is that now they can bring in characters like Galactus and Silver Surfer. Because I think those are eventually going to be the big, like, well, not Silver Surfer, but Galactus is going to be the big baddie that they're going to have to beat for the next, like, 3 phases. So I think that Thanos is the one that he's trying to stop Galactus. That's kind of like one of my theories too, where I think that where you're going to end up finding out, because he's releasing half the population, also half the resources, right? Which makes no sense when you think about it. Like, why are you getting rid of half the resources if you're getting rid of half the population? That counteracts everything about your whole plan, unless he's trying to deter somebody away from going after those resources and destroying planet after planet. Hence, Galactus would be that being. So it's interesting to see. Maybe that's something they bring in later. Another Avengers Endgame thing that I want to kind of theorize before I end today's show is that I think that with this movie, the plot of this movie is going to be basically them constantly failing and then finally succeeding. That's kind of like the recurring plot I think is going to be this film, is that they're going to keep trying. They're going to keep trying until they succeed. And that's something that I get very much off these trailers that I just kind of have a gut feeling for, is that this plot is going to be very much, here's, we can only succeed if we each play our role and we're not going after Thanos just like un unplanned or, unlogically or unintelligibly. So, for example, they all have a vendetta against him, obviously. I mean, he wiped out half the universe, he wiped out half their friends. And also, if you think about it, those vendettas that they have against him, the things that they have against him are so personal. Hawkeye, his whole family, let's face it, gets, snapped. It's pretty obvious from the trailers, even though it's not technically confirmed, but it's pretty obvious from the trailers. His whole family gets snapped. So they already are, like, they're dusted. Gamora, sorry, Nebula, his daughter, like all the like pain that she's gone through against Thanos. So, obviously she has a personal thing against him. Like everybody has a personal thing. Iron Man is going into space, seeing, just the fear that he has of like the idea of a Thanos coming and how like, his own demons. And also since he basically started off this universe too, it would be poetic if he finishes Thanos off. But they all have their own personal things against Thanos. The Hulk, too, where Thanos basically just destroyed him in the beginning of Infinity War. The list can go on. They all have their own personal things against Thanos. And I think that's going to be something that they figure out is the big flaw in their approach to taking down Thanos, is because it's so personalized, is that when they all go after him at once, he's easy to beat. It's easy to beat them because it's almost like it's unorthodox is the word I'm looking for. It's very unorthodox. So I'm assuming that what this plot's going to be is that they figure out how unorthodox it is to just go basically jump him as a team, and eventually they figure out we all have to play our roles. You're Iron Man. These are your powers. You have the suit. You can fly. You're also extremely intelligent. You're the most at this point, like probably the most intelligent one. As far as like technology goes and everything, you play that role along with Bruce Banner. This is the role you play. Nebula, you're a great fighter. This and that. You go and play help on the battlefield. Like every person plays their role, and I think that's gonna be eventually how they take down Thanos. Anyway, that's my whole spiel on that topic. Thank you for watching. Today's episode was definitely more chillax. I think it was a little bit longer, but also I like this. It's not as like super fast paced. So tell me what you think about it, and also if you like this video, please like this video. If you like this video, please like this video. If you like this video, click that like button, click the subscribe button. Also, this episode is available both as a YouTube video and on SoundCloud as Sean Chavrath. Just search my name on SoundCloud, you'll find it. Obviously, Sean Chaz for YouTube channel. So thank you for watching, and I hope all of you have a wonderful Friday, and see you all later.